Hola, hola, clase. Today we're taking a big step. We're starting the past tenses. We're learning the past tense called the preterite, or el preterito in Spanish. Please take notes along with me. This is a super important lesson. Preterite, the past tense preterite is one of the biggest grammar things we'll do in all of second year Spanish. Here we go, guys. So, we use the preterite to talk about actions that started in the past and stopped in the past. There are other past tenses in Spanish we'll learn about. I hope we get there this year. It might be third year that you learn this. But the preterite is for things that started in the past and stopped in the past. Like, yesterday I went to the store. It started yesterday and stopped yesterday. I'm not still at the store. That's preterite. 3 years ago, we went on vacation, or we ate apples. I don't know. That makes sense? It's not an ongoing action. Let's take a look at the forms of the AR preterite. Make sure you're taking notes along with me, please. So here are the endings. The yo form ends in e. Take a look at these accents. This one, the yo form and the la usted form have an accent, and it becomes super important. So the yo form ends in e, clase e. The tu form ends in aste. The la usted form ends in o. The nosotros form ends in amos. The vosotros form ends in asteis. And the ellos, ellas, ustedes form ends in aron. Two notes. First of all, the nosotros form is amos in the present tense and the preterite. That's weird a little bit, because why would they do the same thing? I don't know why they do the same thing. It's not too hard in Spanish to figure it out using context clues. You'll often see words like yesterday, which is ayer. I've got that right here. Ayer. If it's yesterday it happened, you know it's going to be preterite, not present tense. Or el blank pasado for last whatever, like el lunes pasado, last Monday, or el octubre pasado, last October. Those are both ways to tell. The other one is the accent here. Note that yo hablo in the present tense is I speak. El habló becomes he spoke. So be very careful, because that accent mark changes it from I speak in the present tense, or I do this action, to he, she, or usted did it in the preterite. Do you guys see the slight difference there? It changes the emphasis on the syllable. Hablo, present. Habló, preterite. Hope you're with me so far. We've got one more section of stuff today, and that's on car-gar-zar verbs. Car-gar-zar verbs are verbs that end in the letters car, car, gar, gar, or zar, zar. And these three types of verbs have a weird spelling change in the yo form of the preterite. Take a look. I've listed some of the common verbs for you on them, like car verbs, buscar, tocar, and sacar. In the yo form, where you would normally take off the AR and add the E with an accent mark on it, instead of just the A, you have to change the C to a QU. Otherwise, because C can make a soft C noise, you don't want to say busque, you want to say busque. So to spell it the right way, yo busco in the present will become yo busque in the preterite. Repita, clase, busque. Nice. Okay, gar verbs end in GAR. Like C, the letter G has two sounds, a soft G and a hard G, and G. You want to keep the same one, so you sometimes have to add the letter U in there. This is that time. So take a look. Llegar, to arrive, jugar, to play, cargar, to load, and apagar, to turn off, are all gar verbs. Some common ones. There are others out there, but these are the ones I think we talked about between last year and this year. So, yo llego, I arrive, becomes yo llegué, I arrived. If you leave out the U, it'd be pronounced llegué, and that's not what we're looking for. Repita en clase, yo llegué. One more. And that's zar verbs. We have car, gar, zar. Zar verbs, there are fewer of these, but the Z becomes a C when you conjugate. I don't know why they do this one, because both Z and C can make the same noises. Zar, yeah, but they just do, so here we are. Yo empiezo, I start or I begin, becomes yo empecé in the preterite. I started or I began. Empecé. Repita en clase, yo empecé. That brings me to one reminder. Do you guys notice that empezar is a stem changing verb, E to IE? You can see it right here. I've stem changed it, but it's not stem changed in the preterite. There are no stem changes in the AR preterite. I'll make AR verbs a little bit easier. There are a couple in the IR preterite. Is it ER and IR? I know in the IR preterite there's some. We'll get there before too long, but they're easier, and there's fewer of them in the preterite than there are in the present tense. I hope that helps. Let's try a couple examples before we say hasta luego for today. So let's try the verb. Try the verb hablar in the preterite. Let's do it in the ellos form. Make it say they spoke. Ellos. Oops. It's going to be, if you need to pause it to give yourself more time than I'm giving you, feel free. They spoke is going to be ellos hablaron. Repite en clase, ellos hablaron. Hablaron, muy bien. Another one's going to be, let's try this. Let's try buscar, to look for, in the tú form. Oops, that was not the word I'm looking for. In the tú form, you change my keyboard back to Spanish. Hard to make accents on this thing. Okay, buscar in the tú form, you looked for. Going to be tú buscaste. Repite en clase, tú buscaste. And let's try one more. Let's try llegar in the yo form. I arrived. Llegar in the yo form. Ready? It's going to be yo llegué. I was trying to trick you there with the cargar-zar verb. That one's a gar verb. Did you remember the U in the middle of right near the end of llegué? Bueno, clase, that's the basics on the AR preterite. Hope it's not too bad. We will use this time and time again, so please know this. Hasta luego.